Yo, what is up guys, and welcome back to a brand new PSGL League Racing video. This is round number 7 of PSGL on F124, and today we are racing around Qatar. Sorry if there's a little bit of background noise from my upshift and downshifts. It won't be like that the entire video, if I remember correctly. But yeah, today we're gonna try and extend the championship lead, as you can see right here. After we picked up the win in Austria last week on the final lap, with Brendan Lee not getting any points. So that's a big point haul for us, gaining 16 points in the championship. We were only 4 points ahead at that point, but now we are 20 points ahead. And today we're gonna try and extend again by 16 points, of course, but that is easier said than done. Main aim today is to try and get a good qualifying again. That's really something I want to get sorted this year. Of course, a race is more important, but yeah, there's a point for pole position in F1 Esports, also in PSGL. So yeah, if you can get a few pole positions, that's very welcome points-wise. So yeah, it would be lovely to get it once again today. I think it's been 3 years since I got a pole position in PSGL. Maybe just under 3 years, but I think it was on F1 2021. I might have gotten some pole positions in the wet, but not in the dry. And yeah, I just want to get a habit of being able to get pole positions again. However, that's not a great start to our qualifying session. Big snap of oversteer mid-corner in turn 1. Yeah, just car being very pointy on the front axle. Yeah, that just makes it difficult to get into, not to get into rhythm, but just straight away be on the pace. You can see I'm having to make so much steering corrections, and it's obviously because the car is quite difficult to drive. But yeah, if I get into a rhythm, then that's gonna be sorted. So I might just need a few laps to get up to pace. This has been a terrible lap. Tom Henley with a 120.324 in this opening lap in Q1. At the moment, it's gonna look like we're gonna be quite close to that, depending on this last sector. The last sector is always around a 0.8, 0.9. Q1 might be a little bit slower than Q3, of course, but it's very much flat out that whole last section, apart from the final corner. Again, a big snap of oversteer though, and it's gonna be a 120.447.
Was that still P9?
Yeah, dropped down to P11. Actually P10 after the first run, and had to go out again. But you can see here we are 2 tenths up, with still more time to find in this final corner. So I knew, just finish this lap, and we're gonna be through into Q2. Even this last corner, took it really carefully, because I knew there was this little snap of oversteer on the banker lap. And that means we go fastest in Q1. A little bit disappointed though, because I would have loved to save a set of tires in Q1. But that first lap was just so bad that we couldn't. And yeah, as you can see there, we ended up P2. Thomas ended up just finishing ahead of us by like a tenth. He had to go out again as well, because he invalidated his first run. And that's a thing about Qatar. It's such a tricky track to not invalidate. I think you can invalidate on pretty much every single corner on this track. So it's hard to get a good lap in, be on the limit and not invalidate your lap. We go P2 in our first run in Q2, but that's used tires. And now we're gonna bolt on a set of new tires. You can see we are over 4 tenths up to used tires. Qatar always really tough on the tires. Just like in real life. I'm not sure if anyone remembers Bottas' puncture, of course, in 2021. Just showing that this track is incredibly punishing on the tires. Across the line, we're going to go 5 tenths up to our previous lap, and that is going to be P2 with a purple middle sector. Istvan jumps us, so we drop down to P3 after everyone has set their laps. And I decided to stay in, take the risk. But as you can see, there's only 2 people behind us. We're currently in P8, so that means we're gonna be fine into Q3. But not sure if anyone saw that there, But we went through by nothing. We went through by 0.0000. We did the exact same lap time as Jake in P11, but we set the lap time earlier, and that means we go through. Yeah, crazy. Really, really lucky there. Really unlucky for Jake. I think he made a big mistake in his lap as well, but yeah, that's the risk I was willing to take to save a set of tires for Q3. And it just helps to get us into a rhythm in Q3. 2 new sets of tires in a row helps quite a bit to set a good lap time. Yeah. The risk versus reward is big. And yeah, big risk taken. Was worth it. First lap in Q3 though. And a little bit of a moment through the final corner. Ismail Fassi with a 19.9. We set a 20.1, 2.3 tenths of the pace. And that means we're gonna need something special here on this final Q3 lap. Only 4 people set a lap. Everyone else invalidated their lap time. And that shows how hard it is to get a good lap together here around Qatar. But yeah, we're gonna need a good lap time here. Otherwise, we're just gonna be at the bottom of the top 10. So yeah. Maximum attack into turn 1. You can see backhand wants to step out. No improvement through there. Into turn 2 we go. And that's a good improvement. Lots of speed taken through that corner. Half a tenth up as we head into the double right. This is the trickiest corner, track limit wise. You can invalidate on entry, apex, exit, apex, and exit again. And now we are 10th up. Going into the hairpin. Good exit as well. And that gives us another 300-400s advantage, and that's all we need. Every corner we need like 300s, but that's easier said than done. Again, a 400 improvement as we head into the final corner of sector 2. On the limit on the apex, we get the apex nicely, good rotation, and that gained us more than a full tenth going into the final corner. And this is the fastest lap we've done so far in this qualifying session, purple middle sector, as we head into the flat out sector 3 section. One more corner coming up, and it is gonna be enough for pole position with the way it's going. We just need to clutch up this final corner, and you can see the front end bites nicely. We get a good exit and gain another half a tenth. 3 tenths up as we go across the line, and it is pole position for now. But there's still lots.
I'm fucking happy with that lap. Jesus. I don't care if it gets beaten.
Still lots of people on laps. Ismail Fassi, who did that really fast opening lap, comes across the line, does not improve. Thomas invalidates in the final corner, and there's only 3 people remaining in this Q3 session to set a lap. Tom Manley improves to P6, Ruben Pedreño goes to P4, and Otis Lawrence invalidated his lap. And that means for the first time, I think in close to 3 years, we got a pole position in dry conditions in PSGL on basically F1 Esports level. Actually, I got pole in F1 Esports Silverstone, but that was drying up conditions. So yeah, close to 3 years, I think so, since my first dry weather, full dry weather pole position. And that gives us an extra point in the championship as well. So the first point has been hauled in for today. But now we want to get another 16 points, maybe even 17 if we get the fast lap as well. But that's fairly optimistic. So here we go. We're going to be starting on the hard compound of tires here, together with our teammate Freddie Rasmussen. It's a Red Bull 1-2 in Q3, both on the hard compounds. We got Istvan Pukki in P3 on the medium. So different strategies across the grid. We're not going to be able to fight Istvan too hard in this opening lap. Mediums are going to have much more grip. We got Nicolas Longue in P5 at the moment on the mediums as well. You can see how slippery it is on this hard compound. We're trying to get some temperature into them in this opening lap. Easy said and done though. Istvan 1.5 tenths behind us. We're expecting him to overtake us somewhere in the middle sector. You can see we just can't really get the power down, and we got Istvan straight away down our inside. He leaves us the space on the exit. We leave him the space on the apex. And down to P2 we go. Nicolas Longue already up to P3. And yeah, it's not going to take long before he makes easy work of us as well. But of course we're going to be on that compound of tires later on in this race. I think compound-wise, both the mediums and the hards are a really good compound to ride around here. It just, yeah, really depends on how your race goes, on what the better strategy is going to be. Being a little bit careful there with track limits, because yeah, three track limit invalidations would mean a penalty. Yeah, that means we're gonna have to be really careful around Qatar. Nicolas Longue straight away going on the attack. We're not fighting this too hard, we're just picking up slipstream from Istvan, which is making it a little bit harder from Nicolas ahead of us. I'm just waving him through, as this is a battle we're gonna lose in the next 5 laps at some point anyway. But now lap 7, and our hearts are starting to come into play. I was thinking about a little move into turn 1, but no point taking big risks, because we won't be able to get out of the arrest from Nicolas and Istvan anyway. Jake behind us picked up damage against Fred.
What the fuck? Did you see that?
And yeah, not sure what happened there. I think Istvan just got a massive screen freeze. I'm not sure if anyone remembers, but I had the same here in every esports or Qatar. If you get like a game or a screen freeze, you just lag back. You might lose a couple of positions. So that's what Istvan had there, I think. So either screen freeze or a game freeze. But yeah, it didn't matter too much anyway, because it doesn't matter if you're on P1 or P2 too much. But now we got into the lead, double overtake. Past Istvan and Nicolas, but on the next lap, they're the ones getting DRS. And a huge amount of slipstream. We just can't fight this. The DRS is so incredibly strong. And you can follow so closely that yeah, every pass is just really easy. Especially if it's on the leader of the race. It's just an always losing battle pretty much. But yeah, now we got into P2 in lap 11. Those mediums really starting to struggle here now. In lap 11, Nicolas having a little look down the inside, but yeah, he knows that his mediums are dropping off quite harshly now. Lap 12, Nicolas into the box, and we're gonna make the move on Istvan, who's decided to go for another lap, having 1 lap fresher hards towards the end of the race. As I'm trying to get the power down through turn 1, not easy. Yeah, every corner I'm having to correct the car in some way or another, but I guess everyone has the same struggles, because you can see how much speed or how much pace we gained compared to Istvan, who was struggling even more on his tires. And now he pulls into the pits as well. We go for 1 more lap on the hards, and yeah, lap 16 now. Freddy coming into the pits. We just swapped around lap after lap, because that's probably the best thing to do in that scenario, just working together. Freddy boxing lap 16. We're gonna go for 1 more, and we're gonna come into the box at the end of this lap. A little bit of understeer in turn 1, and now into the box we're gonna go at the end of lap 17. Thomas behind us goes for 1 more lap. Into the pit lane we go. A little bit too careful on the pit entry speed, but yeah, no major losses, maybe a few tenths, 2 or 3 tenths. Don't think it will matter too much, because I think we're gonna filter out behind that wall group of cars that you see in the bottom left. So we're probably gonna come out in like a net P8, P9, perhaps. We're in P7 at the moment, which was the net race lead. And out on track we go. We have gone down to P16, so yeah, net P9 at the moment. Means we're gonna have to overtake 8 cars on track in order to get this win. Everyone ahead of us on all the tires, 1, 2 or 3 lap all the tires. I think Josh somewhere in there on really old hards. Of course Istvan and Nicolas on all their hards as well, but I think they box later than Josh, who you can already see there actually. We are right behind him now. He's gonna be out of the points this race. No matter how hard he's gonna fight this, he's not finishing the points, because yeah, we've got 11 laps to go. We're on a spanking new set of the mediums. You can see how much more grip we have every corner. He has to fight the car. We go around the outside in the hairpin. Josh goes for the move on Thomas, leaves him the space, and now that gives us the inside for the next right-hander. We're straight away gonna go on the attack on Thomas Gal in the next right-hander. He leaves us the space, we leave him the space on the exit, and now we're gonna run side by side through here. Not easy to go side by side through here. He leaves us the space once again, we leave him the space, and a beautiful battle right there with Thomas. And now we got Barry and Istvan going side by side through that flat out section. Not a great set of corners to go side by side, but they pulled it off. Istvan now almost all hearts ahead of us. Probably going to be really struggling here to keep us behind. We're a little bit low on battery, 60%. You can see Istvan was using as well, so decided, you know what, I'm just going to stay behind. But then I was like, nah, I'm going to send it down the inside and move up to P7. That's a net P6. And the only car still out on track, I think, is Brandon, maybe someone else. I'm not sure who that white car is. The next up our list is Barry Bormand in the Ferrari. Well, it's not an actual Ferrari. It's a red multiplayer car, but you get what I mean. And now we need to find a way through. We got our teammates Freddie Rasmussen and Tom Manley in P4, P5, behind two Williams drivers of Ruben Pedreño and Ismael Fassi. Nicolas Longe is still going strong in P3 as well, net P3, on those hards, and that strategy is working quite well for him. Relative to Istvan and Josh, who went on the same strategy but completely dropped through the field. So yeah, interesting strategies in this race so far. I think in WR we went for a medium hard strategy, and that worked quite well as well. Now let's go for the move on Barry, and out of the final corner we're gonna turn on the battery and use some of that overtake. We run 100% ERS coming out of the final corner. Barrios probably as well. It's so easy to recharge on this game, which gives you the opportunity to go on lots of attacks. And now into turn 1, we're gonna brake really late with the tire advantage we have. Barry leaves us the space, we leave him the space on the exit, and now we got the outside for turn number 2. And with the grip advantage we have managed to stick it around the outside of turn 2. And now we're behind Nicolas Longe, who's on those older hards. I was thinking about going and move straight away into the hairpin. Unfortunately, there was a car of Jake there, going slowly. That was just AI cars. Nicolas nearly spins. I thought he was going to spin there, so I took extreme avoiding action, but wasn't needed at all. So I lost a little bit of time there, but now on the very next lap, we're going to go for the move into turn number 1. Got loads of slipstream here because we're in the gearbox of Nicolas. Nicolas goes defensive into turn 1, so we go around the outside, and we have so much more grip that we can just stick it around the outside and make it work. Nicolas leaves us a space just enough on the exit, and up to P5 we go. And now we got 2 Red Bull drivers and 2 Williams drivers ahead of us, so 2 teammates ahead of me. But we need to get past those Williams drivers first. We got Nicolas down our inside again into the hairpin, and he leaves just enough space on the exit. But yeah, I think it might have been the defending action more than an attacking one, because yeah, he was just using up the space available to defend from the cars behind. I'm not sure he was ever gonna even try and come back at us with so much older tires. Although those hards are only gonna get faster and faster, of course, relative to our mediums, because those mediums wear out a lot faster. And even though Nicolas on like 4-lap older tires, maybe 5-lap older tires, those hards are gonna be probably similar pace towards the end of the race, but there's still 7 laps to go, so quite a long way from home for Nicolas on those hards. And now we want to go for a move on the cars ahead. So does want Fred and Tom, but yeah, those Williams drivers up front are helping each other, of course, trying to stay P1, P2. Tom goes on the attack, and there's been an incident up front, sending Ruben Pedreño all the way wide. And now we got a chance of overtaking Ismael Fassi as well. We didn't quite have the space that we wanted to go for the move, and now we go on the attack again. into the double right-hander, have to back off because we've got time. We are on the freshest tires in like the top 8, and yeah, we need to be patient. We got the tire advantage. We will get past Ismail, who's on even older tires than Fred and Tom. I think 2 lap older tires than me, which doesn't sound like much, but around Qatar it's quite a lot because the tire wear is so high. And now we go around the outside in turn number 2. We got the clean air around the outside and up to P3 we go, behind Tom Manley and Freddie Rasmussen, and now it's a Red Bull 1, 2, 3 with 5 laps to go at the end of this lap. We got Barry Burman down, not down our inside, but behind us again. Let's not forget, he was starting P20, he had a qualifying ban from last week, and he's in P4. He somehow managed to climb all the way up to P4, and he's actually in contention for the win. Obviously, us 3 are gonna try and fend him off and kind of work together so we can stay in P1, 2, 3. But yeah, honorable mention, Barry started P20, is in P4 with 5 laps to go, and yeah, he does have quite a bit of older tires, but doesn't seem to matter too much at the moment for him because his pace is quite equal to ours. Yeah, unfortunately, I think we should have swapped around a little bit more. At the same time, you know, I'm in P3 on the freshest tires. I think
it will be on double.
Yeah, that kind of helps in this scenario because I've got so much more grip that it's easier for me to fend off faster cars behind. But now into the final lap we're gonna go then. No more team orders. We're gonna fight it out on track. Papaya rules. Into turn 1, and yeah, just with the DRS it's gonna be an easy pass on Freddy, who has been leading for the past few laps. We're gonna have to fend off Barry into turn 1 to defend the inside a little bit. For a brief moment I thought he was gonna send it down the inside, but that would have ended in tears for sure. Now you got a few more straights to try and pass Tom Manley on this lap. No more DRS straights for us apart from the little run up to the line, which has been shortened massively since last year. So yeah, we ideally have to get past somewhere else in order to make this move stick, but starting to run out of options. We got near 100% battery that we're gonna use all in the final sector, or into the run of the final sector, because this is the straight ideally we want to pass, and you can see Tom knows it, he's straight away on the battery. We are as well, of course, but you can see the slipstream effect.
Oh my god.
As Tom had a screen freeze there, which lagged him back massively, and yeah, scared me a lot. I thought he was brake checking me, but that was just purely a screen freeze. And now, into the final corner we can go. You can see Tom is flashing, and it means he's under 10% battery, so maybe we can get a run up to the line. Unfortunately, we can't. It's too short of a straight to still go for a move. But it's a Red Bull 1, 2, 3. Yeah, phenomenal race from the start to finish. Of course, I could have taken maybe a little bit more risk in that final lap, but yeah, of course, we had to think about the championship as well. At the same time, you know, a Red Bull 1, 2, 3 did not want to risk anything of ruining that. And yeah, we extend the championship lead to Brendan, who finished outside of the points again. And we got 13 points this race. Tom got 16, which means Tom now moves up to P2 in the championship, as you can see right here. And we extend our championship lead to P2 by another 8 points. Yes, obviously Tom gained points on us, but relative to P2, we gained another 8 points and extend our championship lead massively. So great race. Really happy to finally get a full dry weather pole position again. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe, and see you guys next time. Ciao.